Okay, guys, this was one of the games that I was really excited to talk about. This is called Witchbrook, and I guess it was a game that, you know, was announced a long time ago, but after coming off the heels of playing games like Fields of Mystria and loving our time playing, you know, games like Stardew Valley and all the other farming sims, cozy games that we've been playing, I heard apparently, you know, through the grapevine that this might be potentially the next big cozy game. And I guess based on this trailer, we finally get a little bit of gameplay and maybe even a release date. I haven't seen the trailer. I just wanted to check it out with you guys and see what we think. So that's also the cutest little emblem. That one too. Immediately, the art style grabs me. I love that cutesy pixelated 8-bit art style. It's basically 8-bit Hogwarts. I mean, yo, you got brooms in this game too? I wonder if you can study the dark arts. I'm just curious. Brook books. The Dobros. Oh, you can eat donuts? Oh, I'm sold. 10 out of 10. I also love that you can run in this game. I wish you could do that in Stardew. Oh, you can fly? Oh, that's gotta be busted, right? I mean, just flying around the city. Animals. It looks like there might be cooking in this game too. And is that multiplayer? Y'all, this is kind of adorable. Listen, I'm kind of new to like the cozy simulator farming sim kind of games. And this game definitely seems like it has elements of your classic cozy, you know, life sims, you know, like I said, the Fields of Mystrias and the Stardews, but it still feels like it adds its own uniqueness to it that I think is really, really cool. And oh my gosh, like 9 years and it looks like it's ready to ship. You know what's crazy about this game too is that you actually get a release window, not a release date necessarily. We don't know when in winter, but I don't know. I guess you could assume probably November, maybe December, right? But I think winter could be anything as far as January, February, right? Let's hope not. I mean, it said winter 2025. So, I mean, yeah, it's gotta be November, December, you know, so I can definitely see it being I mean, that's a perfect time for this kind of game to release. It feels like the perfect cozy game for the winter. Oh man. And for a game that took 9 years to like finally get to this point, it seems like at least we know it's real, you know, at least we know it's real. So we're gonna take a moment to take a look at this trailer and all the stuff that we see in it. I'm gonna slow it down just a little bit, just so we can really take this in, because I have not, you know, I've been fortunate enough to not have the misfortune of having to wait this long like some of you all have for this game. And so I really want us to take a moment to really appreciate it, because it's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. You're running in Stardew, you just don't have to press a button to run anymore. Wait, are we already running? I guess we are. We just run really slowly. I'll be playing it. Oh man. Okay. If you played Stardew when it first came out, you'd remember having to press the run key while also pressing the key in the direction you wanted to move in. The art style is already, I love it. Like I said, the 8-bit pixelated style really grabs and draws to me. Anytime I see it in a game, I'm instantly more intrigued by it. And I love the color palette here. Love the color palette. Off the jump, you could see that this game feels very whimsical. It seems like it starts off with you potentially. I don't know if this is the beginning of the game. It seems like it could be where you start off as a student, maybe going to this Hogwarts-like school to learn magic and wizardry. Now, obviously, of course, these are just theories, but it looks pretty nice though. It looks, look at the shrubbery. Look at the shrubbery on this building. Oh my gosh. I love old school 2D hand-drawn looking graphics like this. Like Legend of Mana is so gorgeous. Yeah, Legend of Mana. So many other games that I have in my Steam library that kind of embrace and boast that 2D art style. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. So any game that has it, I'm instantly more intrigued by. Anyway, it then goes from there to show, I guess, what the other side, maybe this could also be the you see I guess the cherry blossoms, right? Similarly to how we see spring in Stardew, you think it's possible that this game could take us through seasons and we could kind of go through the 4 seasons, similarly to the way that we do in games like Stardew, because that's very much what it feels like. I wouldn't be surprised if this is one season and then maybe it could be the same season or a different season. We should be adults so we can romance adult characters. Oh, okay. All right, so then we go from there to the inside, the inner halls, the inner sanctum, as you can see. And it looks like there's a library in here. So maybe a bookstore or book library in which we could interact with other students that are clearly also performing and learning how to, use and harness their magic. And it looks like, if you see here on the side, it looks like there are books on a lot of different things, maybe a little agriculture, so there could be some farming elements in this game. One's on magic. I don't know what this one is over here, but crafting, blacksmithing, things like that could also be prevalent in this game. So it seems like it just gives us, like, even just a shot like this could give us a lot of context into the world and the characters. Not sure what the owl means, but clearly the owl is a beloved potentially a beloved character in the game. And then moving on from there, we got gargoyles up top. I think this is just really showing us the grounds, and I would assume where much of the game is going to be taking place as we embark on this journey, which will involve, interacting with other students and really just living the lifestyle of a student in Witchbrook. I love this though. This right here, you obviously have a display. I don't know if this is a display case for maybe like a Mach 10, maybe something for us to really aspire to. Maybe it's a custom one. You can make your own brooms, but I love how the brooms are all parked here and you can see they're still kind of floating there, which I just think it's so nice. The owl is to set up a Duolingo ad. Can you imagine that the first time you click on the owl or you approach the owl, you're given a Spanish lesson really quick, and then a little coupon for 50% off your first month of Duolingo. I love the brooms. The brooms really sell it for me. I really love the brooms. Anyway, lots of different students, and I'm hoping lots of different customization. I'm hoping you can create your own character and bring this character into the world, which I'm assuming you can, but it's just little things like that get me even more excited about this potential, the potential of this game. I hope you can decorate your hats too. Maybe change the color of the hats, maybe have different styles. I don't know. It feels like the options are really limitless here. And then once again, more grounds. I hope that this up here, the top left, is potentially a coffee shop in which we can have coffee and just be, just be a student. One thing I really enjoyed about like Fire Emblem Three Houses was that it fully immersed you in that feeling of being a student and that life, and I really enjoyed that. It felt like you were living in a simulation in a way, and I feel like this game really seems to do that. I love how one student's over here looking at the map. Potential relationships could be formed here. I hope you can romance a character or two. That would be really fun. Look at these little birds. I love them. I don't know what this other building was. Maybe a place where you study or something? I don't know. What if it's a magic university? There is a coffee shop next to the donut shop. I mean, they just get it. They just get it. Again, more brooms. Okay, moving on to the next shot. Clearly, we're going to be taking class, which is going to be great. I don't know if this is a class on how to fly. That would be really fun. Or, I hope that we'll actually get to engage in the class and the lessons. Maybe we'll even get to pick what courses we want to take. That would be crazy. If we could decide if we want to master flying or if we want to learn about, potions or whatever. I would love, I would love options like that to be available. I love how this character also seems to have, I don't know what this is, maybe like a boom box or something on the back of his, or on the front of his, which could potentially be like how he, maybe he listens to music. I don't know, just little personalities here. And I think this really does, if anything, gives us a sense of the idea that, brooms might be customizable in this game. So we might be able to customize our brooms to put on little bows or little tassels or something, just to make it feel uniquely ours. I think that could be really, really nice. Then we go on from there. Clearly, there is definitely going to be courses that we can take. This looks to be some sort of horticulture or potions course, as you can see. And we're going to be able to learn how to craft potions. And with that, I'm hoping that there will be combat in this game. I'm hoping that we'll be able to actually like go off into, more danger zones in the game and be able to participate in that way, similarly to how we have the mines in games like Fields of Mystria and Stardew. I really hope that there's going to be combat in this game, so that we can test our magic. You know what I mean? It would be even cool if it was like a turn-based RPG style combat. I think that would be really cool. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Moving on, we've got, little meeting hall, or maybe this is kind of like a student union hall that you can kind of come in and light a fire, as you can see here, get cozy, relax on all the couches and things like that. Again, I just love the aesthetic. I love the look and the vibe of this area. And really just every room in this game feels like it's brimming with life. And you could tell that even after a 9-year stint of no information about this game, or seemingly no information, it seems like they have been hard at work creating something and a world that's full of life and truly, truly beautiful. So it makes me excited. This one, like maybe like an astrology room. Obviously you can see from the telescope here. I love the teacups. Tea and coffee seems to be a staple of the cozy aesthetic. And so anytime I see tea or coffee, I'm instantly transported into a much safer and much cozier space, which I think is really nice. But yeah, this seems to be, we've got potions, we've got a flying class. This seems to be astronomy of some sort, learning about the planets and things like that. And again, just highlighting that it seems like learning and being a student is going to be a really big part of this game with this massive telescope. And what would be really crazy too is if we were able to go to different planets. I don't think that's possible. That seems very unlikely, but if we could even see other planets through this telescope, that would be pretty neat, in my opinion. They took 9 years to make the curriculum, as they should. I mean, it seems like they've really been fine-tuning the student experience, which I think is really, really, really nice. But then again, of course, we get back in I think this was the same magic room that we saw before. This might actually be a different room. I remember seeing the brooms outside, but I don't remember seeing this. So I don't know. That is really interesting. Yeah, moving on from there. Honestly, guys, this is the part that got me really excited. The idea that you can have your own tiny little scooter, and you can, you're not confined to the walls of the school. Like, you can actually go out into town and get a haircut, maybe from fringe culture, which I don't know. I feel like I need to see what that's like. I would need to experience that. And maybe fringe culture is where you're able to maybe change your character's appearance, which I really enjoy. I think every game should allow you to change your character's appearance. Nothing is more stressful than creating a character and then being like, well, as my character evolves, she has to look the same. Why would I want that? But with fringe culture, you don't have to look the same, Hashtag ad. And then from there, I just want to, maybe we could slow it down just a little bit more because I want to see some of these shops. But yeah, you've even got crosswalks in here. Like what is this? What is this? Look at the color. Look at the pavement of the roads, y'all. This is a beautiful game. This is a game that took over 9 years to make, and you could see it. The quality is here. You can even almost get hit by cars. Hit by a car, pay for my university loans. That's what I'm saying. You gotta, what is the saying? There's an old saying in Parks and Rec that I really enjoyed, where John Ralphio, he's like, he says something along the lines of, minor bumps and bruises, major dollars and cents, That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I think Lil Simsy or some previewed this a while back. I remember the scooter and her helping out a shop lady with deliveries, maybe. Maybe that's what this is. You could do quests maybe you, oh my gosh, guys, this is perfect, because if you are a student, right, you're gonna still need a way to make some cash, to make money. And this could be the perfect opportunity. You go into town and you can do little quests for characters. You can interact with different characters. You can go to the donut shop. You can get coffee. You know, you can really just, you can be in and out of the school, the campus. You could potentially get hit by cars, but obviously not. That doesn't really happen, but it was very close. I don't know. Honestly, if you ask me, I don't know where this car's going. Oh, I guess they're going this way. I don't know. Maybe we're in the wrong here. Maybe we shouldn't be in the middle of the road. I don't know. Anyway, moving on from there, we have Brooks Books, which I don't know what you would buy here. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe books. It's possible. Anyway, moving on from there, you got a little bus stop here, which I think is just adorable. Look at the little bus stop. Oh, little bus stop. I don't know what this one is. It's like it's a teeny tiny shop. I don't know what this is. I'll move myself out of the way. A little teeny tiny shop here. Anyway, this town is brimming with life. And I like how everything's numbered too. They sell life insurance policies. Oh, spell books. Yeah, maybe you could buy new spell books. I love how there's like a little loft upstairs too, where it seems like we could go and maybe this is where maybe this is therapy. I don't know. That would be really deep if it is, but I'm assuming maybe that's a character that we know. But if it is therapy, bravo. That's great. Wildflower, you can buy, a variety of different flowers, or maybe this is us completing that quest. Either way, it seems to be all but confirmed that quests are going to be a big thing in this game. It also seems like there's a possibility that we'll be able to buy things from different shop owners. I don't know how we would have like a plant shop in our campus. So maybe it's back here that we're able to plant crops and help her, improve the shop or something like that. She has green hair. Green is my thing. Then next up, we've got Dough Bros, which appears to be a spot where you can get donuts. And I just got to say, look at the facial hair. Look at the facial hair on this character. Holy moly. The amount of detail. This is me. This could be me. It could be. I'm just saying. Anyway, we got a little bike here, little fruits. Then right next to the coffee shop, like you guys mentioned, Dough Bar Donuts, you grab yourself a nice coffee. You could also grab yourself a nice little cup of joe, which could be really great. And then moving on from there, you can run through the park. I don't know if this is like getting exercise. It looks like it could be, right? Main character or your character, whatever character you create, gets to get a little exercise. And it definitely confirms here that seasons are a thing. As you can see, the little pumpkins here, right? When we started this game, or when we started this trailer, it looked like it was highlighting springtime. And it also looks like as we've gone through the trailer, we've gotten a change of seasons. And now we're definitely in fall. So seasonal change confirmed, which again, I'm new to this genre, a little bit. So, I don't know if seasonal changes are kind of just a staple in a game. It's like playing an FPS game and being like surprised that there's guns. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, of course there are, but I feel like, at least for me and the ones that I've played, it seems like seasonal changes are kind of like, that's just kind of what it is. It kind of is. Either way, it's exciting. It's exciting. I love it. Anyway, moving on from there, we can get a little exercise. They've got little bodegas here. Look at this little squirrel down here. Absolutely adorable. And it seems like even outside of the campus and the university, we are able to use our magic. And maybe that's how maybe that's how we go about solving a lot of these quests. There are things that require magic for us to do. And it seems like earlier in the trailer, we did see some fetch quests as well. But it looks like we can also treat ourselves to a little ice cream if we want. If you want, you've had a long day of studying. It seems like festivals or at least farmers markets may also be a thing. Now, this is something that I was recently introduced to in the likes of Fields of Mystria, where we just embarked on our first little excursion into a farmer's market. But, I obviously, I guess more or less like Stardew, I guess, has kind of had something like that. But yeah, I love a good farmer's market, both IRL and of course in game. So this looks really nice. Really, really nice. And I just want to know what ice cream that is because it looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Little burgers and brews that you can get over here. And then this is obviously the thing that got a lot of people. The ability to go aerial. You know, and I'm not talking about the mermaid. I'm talking about the ability to fly high above the sky. And listen, I feel like this is probably a late game mechanic. I would be so surprised if you in the beginning would be able to choose between scootering your way across town or flying. I feel like 90% of people would choose to fly. You know, I feel like the broom and the ability to fly, I could see that being something that you have to work your way up to. You know, so maybe you start with a scooter as a way to get around, but eventually you'll work your way up to being able to fly. I don't know. All I want to know is how can I get my hands on some fish and chips? That is what I want to know, because that would be incredible. Maybe we can, you know, you can purchase fish and chips, give yourself a little buff. That would be incredible. Then you got, and it looks like you can really just fly all around. I don't know if you'll be able to stop on these buildings. It would be cool if you could. You probably won't. I'm curious how they'll kind of, you know, keep that, but it looks like there's a post office as well. I don't know if we'll be able to send letters, but I don't know. All these things that I'm seeing, these little attentions to details are things that I think are worth highlighting, and things that I think just give us a little bit more context to what we might be able to do. Even just us standing right in this little pond here gives me an idea that could fishing be in this game? Could that be a component that we find ourselves with? You know, again, a lot of this is a bit of speculation, but it's exciting. It's exciting to speculate. Then again, using our magic to help out the local townsfolk. Potentially, this could be our tie. This could be our tease into romantic relationships. It could also be our tease into making our own apartment. I don't know. Possibly, right? It definitely seems like romantic relationships are going to be a thing. It really does. And then, of course, this also gives us context that could we be breeding in this game? Could we be having, you know, a Pokemon style experience where we're able to grow an egg and then have our, what did you guys call it? Familiars? Is that basically like is that basically the same as having like a, I don't know what you call it, like a companion in a way? Is that kind of the same thing? Because a baby dragon like would be insane. And maybe this is like Professor Oak or something. You know, he kind of teaches us how to train your dragon. No pun intended. They can't legally say that because, like, you know, copyright and all that. But maybe that's what we're looking at. They're like pets, but more of an equal in fantasy terms. Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, this would be cool. So it seems like, yeah, you got even just another layer of things. It seems like this game is definitely not going to have a shortage of things that you can do. It also looks like either you'll be able to have dinner parties, which would be really fun. Maybe you can invite some friends over, cook them a little bit of a special dinner. But either way, it seems like cooking is also going to be a part of this experience, which I think is really nice. And I hope that this is our house. I really hope that we're able to craft, build, and grow our own house and customize it in the way that we want it to be. Oh, it seems like we can do just that, which is really, really cool. It seems like we're going to be able to get our own apartment or our own house and upgrade it and evolve it, which I think would be really fun. And oh man, I love customizing things. I love creating a space that's so uniquely yours and you can show it off, whether it be to friends or, you know, on the internet and things like that. I think that could be really fun. And I think you guys already mentioned that 4-player co-op is also going to be a thing. Dobros is obviously going to be a big part of this. Back in the bookstore, again, we saw crafting, medicine. I don't know what these other ones are, potions, plants and things like that. But yeah, it definitely seems like there's going to be a lot for us to, and this could potentially also be like a compendium in a way, you know, our responsibility to kind of, you know, go out into the world and find these different things to fill out these books or something like that could be really good. Oh man. And then once again, flying through the meadows and things like that. I don't know, guys. I would say that for a game that clearly looks like, you know, a game that you guys say took a long time, Witchbrook looks to be something truly, truly special and potentially might. I'm not trying to overhype it, but this game potentially could be, you know, the next big indie game. It could also be the next big life sim cozy game, and a game that I think a lot of people have been waiting for. and one that a lot of people have been excited about. The ability to traverse into the town and then also be a student at this like Hogwarts style magical school is already a dream in and of itself. And combining that with cozy life sim and kind of questing and things like that, it feels like there's no shortage of things that you're going to be able to do in Witchbrook, and it has me really excited. I mean, we're already, you know, you look at games like Fields of Mystria, and that's still a relatively new game with updates, you know, still seeming to come out for it. And now you've got this game, which I think a lot of fans are going to flock to. It's got the cozy aesthetic, it's got the customization, it's got the life sim aspect to it, and it's just oozing with charm and personality. And I think it's gonna be I don't know. I love to watch trailers because I love getting excited about things, and I love the idea of what could be and what will be. And then when you finally get the product, all that anticipation has been building and you're finally playing it for yourself. You can see what your expectations and the things that you thought were going to be possible, if they align with what actually is. But yeah, it seems like, Witchbrook seems to be a game that has, I would say quite a bit of potential. It has the hype for sure, which makes me anxious. I mean, was there a lot of people that were hype about, Fields of Mystria before that game came out? And I feel like that game has lived up to the hype. Now, I guess the worry is that, could people potentially go into this game with too many expectations? I don't know. I hope that this game releases as a complete product, but I would not be surprised if, it releases in some sort of early access or something. I don't know. Or maybe it needs, bug fixes or things, but I don't know. It looks very cute, right? I mean, it looks really fun. It looks really fun. And I know there's a myriad of other, cozy games that I've yet to try, but, I love to know, I love feeling like I'm connected in the cozy space now. It's nice. It feels good to kind of keep up and stay up on these kind of things. But yeah, the anxiety is mainly from how there were 0 updates for years. Yeah. I wonder why. Does anyone happen to know why they're only now releasing information? Maybe they just didn't want to talk about it, or, until they knew, had a concrete, date. But I mean, from what we can see in the trailer, it definitely looks like a pretty complete game. It looks like a game that definitely is almost, hopefully it looks like a game that's ready to ship, Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait for this game.